my arm. I'll always keep you safe from harm. I want you to be my bride and sing, sing, sing a lot while I'm walking. Here, here, here's your love, girl. Here, here, here's your love. Well, you gotta go somewhere. I've got a lot to love to give. I've got a kiss for your name on.
Well, once again, a very good afternoon to you, and your company is most welcome for the last two medal competitions of these, the 2020 European Canoe Slalom Championships in Prague on the Troja course, and a lovely Sunday afternoon. Well, the organisers here and Czech Televisions, our hosts, have done a fantastic job to stage these championships, the major canoe slalom championship, and it may be the only canoe slalom championship of the entire 2020 season. It was originally planned for London, but then resurrected here in Prague. And now we've got the women's kayak team finals to be followed by the men's canoe team finals. 7 nations in each of the competitions, and an opportunity for 1 or 2 perhaps to get a consolation prize for not doing quite as well as they would have hoped in the individual Olympic categories. Nonetheless, it's competitive, and we have Spain, Ireland, Poland, the Czech Republic, Italy, France and Slovenia all involved. And as I say, we start with the women's competition, which also includes the Swiss. So there is this course, demanding, dropping all the way down, as you can see, some 3.5 meters from start to finish, 250 meters the journey, and it is exactly the same as the course used for the semi-finals and finals, both yesterday and today. But 3 boats to negotiate a challenging track. These the facts and figures. So 3 boats away, and this is where rhythm and combined tactics. Boat 1 going in as 2 goes behind, 2 goes out as 3 enters. And that's the rhythm that they must make all the way down this course. 10, the second of the 6 upstream gates. The double upstreams makes it even more difficult. Precision, absolutely paramount. Then another set of green and white downstream stagger gates. And just remembering that the last boat to cross the line must be within 15 seconds of the first boat as they finish on that flat water sprint. So this is the real thing. And it's been a challenge from the heats on Friday through yesterday's and today's semi-finals and finals. And unanimity amongst the paddlers. They've loved being here. They've loved to have a real competition. It's been competitive. 20 nations involved in all of the competitions. And I can say that on behalf of the European Canoe Association, a huge thanks to everybody here in the Czech Republic for what they've achieved. These are the teams taking part in the women's kayak. One little point, unfortunately, I'm not in Prague. I'm in London, confined by the COVID virus. I wish I was in Prague, but nonetheless, I hope you sit back and enjoy with me these 2 final medal opportunities. Masks on, or they should be for everybody. That's the order of the day here. Social distancing, very important as well. And after these two competitions, it'll be time to make the journey home. But first off, our pathfinders are Switzerland. Naomi Brendel, Elena Marks and Mariel Steinmann. They're outsiders, I have to say, in this competition. But let's hope they can get a clean run down here. Each of them sitting in their kayaks with a double blade going through. Coming to gate 4, the first of the upstream. Second boat comes in behind. First boat waits for the third boat. That wasn't quite... Oh, and that's exactly how not to do it. And that's because the third boat came and got stuck in the stopper. No penalties, but time lost, of course. And they better not do that again on any of the other upstream gates. Last year in Po in 2019, France were the women's kayak team champions ahead of Germany, Austria, the Czech Republic, Russia, Slovakia, Great Britain, Slovenia, Spain and Poland. And a touch there, as you can see, on gate 11 and another one on 12, and all accumulated into the running time. I've actually, and 50 apparently on gate 7 has now been given for one of them who didn't get through the gates, and it's all gone awry, I'm afraid, for the Swiss. A second of that upstream combination. They sort of found their rhythm, but a bit late in the day, I'm afraid. It's good to have them on the water. Men's canoe yesterday, absolute excellent bronze medal for them. Produced a clean run, and it was all the difference, that clean run, between getting and not getting a medal. So penalties, I'm afraid, are plenty here. 10 for touching the gate and the 50, well, 12 for touching gates and 50 for missing a gate. So the Swiss are unfortunately not competitive. And now all important as they get down to the end here, that third boat needs to hurry up as the first boat crosses the line, and easily within the 15 seconds that are required. What is really good is that these young women, like so many of the world's best and European best paddlers, they've not really had any real opportunities to compete and paddle, and so that's why this championship has been so important before the winter sets in to get some competition in. And now to Poland with Klaudia Stranicka, who was 11th earlier in the day in the women's kayak. Natalia Petepnik and Dominika Bryska, who were 13th and 19th respectively. Now collectively, can they do a little bit better? There's the second boat going in. The first boat clears. The second boat waits until the third boat has got behind. It wasn't textbook, but it sort of worked. And gate 1 touch already gives them a penalty, but the odd touch won't be too damaging. But this is where it's really difficult in this really forceful water. Underneath, of course, the obstacles that create these stoppers and waves. A touch on gate 12. That's been a popular gate for the odd error. And Poland, well, because of the Swiss score, the Polish team are way ahead, of course. So 10 penalties so far collectively from the trio, but this is still probably going to be good enough for them to take over the lead from the Swiss. But look how far back that third boat is, and this is Dominika Brezka sprinting towards the finish. So just valid, but you can see the number of penalties they've collected, 14 of them. And Spain will be the next team up. They didn't have a very happy time, Spain, in Po. They were down in 9th place last year in France. They're much, much better than that. And let's hope that they have something of a consolation run here that, who knows, might even get them into the medals. They're still not favourites as they get away. Last time we were here was 2018 for the European Championships, and it was the German team that won on that occasion from Austria and the Czech team. We've been to Prague quite a lot in recent times, so this is a familiar paddling course for most of these young women. Spain with already 4 penalties on the upper part of the course, chasing Poland, who had 14 penalty seconds added. And now the Spanish, who've accumulated 8, so they really can't afford to have any more. They're actually paddling that much quicker, but that was careless out of 16. And now the score is, 8, 10, 12 penalties. (17, 18) just out of view there. (33 seconds down). The Polish team in the lead, but if Spain make more mistakes, who knows? Running time there of 1:59, 1:60, and Poland are now going to hold on to the advantage. Too many errors by the Spanish, and it's all fallen apart towards the end. It was a really disappointing run earlier in the day in the men's C1 finals. It seemed that mentally they were all stressed and lost their way, in some cases too aggressive, and the man who won it and defended his title, Benjamin Sabsek, he really did use his brain. And Spain, well, this is really disappointing. 203, 36 penalties. I have to say they're better than that, but not on this afternoon. Well, I expect something rather better from the next team that starts. And to be perfectly honest, I would expect Slovenia to go into the lead. They were lowly in the championships last year, as you see some of the carnage from the Spanish team. But Slovenia with their world champion Eva Terčel, who missed out in the kayak final earlier today, finished 4th, with Eva Alina Hocheva and Aida Novak. That's the trio, all three in the top 20 in the women's kayak. But they should really do better. They should really set the standard. So here they are. And in the center, it is their world champion, Eva Turchel. Slovenians tails up, of course, because of Benjamin Savsek's victory in the men's canoe. And they'll want to do well here, the Slovenians. Just need to measure this, not be over-aggressive. Yeah, and you can see they're just gapping it a little bit more to make sure that the boats don't mess each other up here. Second boat was slow, but the third boat held off well enough. In amongst this weave of offset downstream gates into 10, the second of the upstreams. And the spacing is going to pay dividends if they keep this run going. Couple of seconds to the, oh, well, I said a couple of seconds to the good, and at that very moment, a penalty on that gate, and gate 11, and is that another one? 4 seconds, 2 touches on 11, 12 negotiated. So from being a couple of seconds up, they're now a couple of seconds behind. But the Spanish, remember, fell apart, and I don't expect the Slovenians to do that. Front boat will have to slow down and wait for the others to catch up. Takes a time to go through the upstream, and they are very wide apart, and this is affecting their time. But considering the leading time is 156.45, they've got plenty of time in hand at the moment. They just need to stay clean from here on in. There are 3 more teams to come, so they're not guaranteed a medal at this stage. So now they need to try and speed up now to close those gaps. 132. This is closer than you would think. The Slovenian team coming through. Are they going to break 150? I think they will, and that will give them the lead. And 147.85, 6 penalties. And that extra penalty on 22 brought them closer to Poland, but they're in the lead by 8.5 seconds, a little bit more. 3 nations to come, the hosts, the Czech Republic, Austria, who've not had the most fortunate of championships, and they've got a really good trio of kayak paddlers, and last to go will be the defending champions, France. So Katarina Kodyova, Veronika Vojtova, and Antoni Galushkova, here they go. Great effort by Katarina Kodyova to win the individual women's kayak title, to add to her World Championship gold medal of 5 years ago. But ever so special when you do it on your home water in front of your home crowd. We've had about 500 special invited family and friends to come to the competition. Well up on time at the moment, keeping it clean. That's the answer in this particular competition. Not necessary to be extravagant. Well, the way this is going, it could be the gold medal run. 2 very good teams still to come. And you can see how they've tightened up here as they come to the last phase of the course through gate 20. The big water gate, and then 22 onto the last of the upstreams. And technically this has been good. They've had that touch earlier on 8 and another one on 13, but the damage is limited at the moment. Leading team Slovenia 147.85, but surely they're going to be inside that time. Last boat to stop the clock, and 139.64, and that's just over 8 seconds the advantage to the Czech Republic, but I think it is beatable. So a double goal for Kuryova, not yet certain, but with 2 nations to come, the Czechs are sure to get a medal, whether it's bronze, whether it's silver, or whether it's gold, yet to find out. So Austria, with the double world champion Karina Kunle in the centre there, leading off her teammates Nina Varashnik and Antonia Oschmautz. The other, or the last member of the trio, just holding back there, and Karina Kunle setting the pace here. And again, you can see the 3 are gapping to give themselves every chance of a clean run, low on the gate, but in this case it might work. But the third boat there, Oschmautz, coming in very fast and got held in the water. And gate 1 picking up 2 touches, which is not the great way to start.
Gate number 7 is winning from left to right, but to use it needs to be by all the great advantage. And now they are right together in the gate combination 11. Antonia Oschmautz se tam chtěla nic na ruce rozhoupané brány, zatímco Karina Kunle si teď na zadák na konci vyšího 14.
Well, they're down on the clock, and they've got to find something from here to get in front of the Czech Republic. Slovenia lying in second place, and they had 6 penalties. Really need to keep this clean from here on in. 8-9 seconds down. Indeed, they are just over 8 seconds, 8.83 down, and that makes them very, very close to Slovenia. Slovenia picked up 6 penalties, so they're right on the margins here. Okay, so that's the upstreams out of the way, and 24 to 25, 136. The Slovenians 147.85. Oh, tight, but they've got themselves into second place. Czech Republic from Austria, Slovenia now in third place and in danger of losing a medal here, with the French to come in this women's team final. Well, it wasn't an auspicious start to have 2 boats touching gate number 1. It really opened the door there for the likes of the French, and here they go. Camille Prigent, just recently presented with her silver medal as runner-up in the women's kayak. Lucie Baudou, and also Marjorie Delassus, who was disappointing today. But here's an opportunity for these French women to make amends. Well, that's just about the best pattern we've seen through gate number 4.
39.64. But they need to handle especially the gate combination 6, 7, 8. They will have to get back to the gate number 8 because it was
They're very good at this, the French. 2.69, that's ahead of the Czech Republic. Now the Czech Republic had 4 penalties and they picked up 1 penalty, have they? Just trying to see, that's gate 10. No, they seem clean up to now. Oh, they've got 4 penalties from gate 4. That's just come up on my computer screen. Hasn't shown on your screen yet, but they've run into problems. They've got a penalty at gate 12, but I've also, there's the gate 4, so that's 6 seconds. And now the French are on the margins. They're now behind the Czech Republic as a result of those penalties. And they've got to be inside 1:39 to take the gold medal. We've seen teams make up time here, but the third boat closing up now to make sure that there's no mistakes here. Out of 20 through 21. Marjorie Delassus. And Prigent at the back, waiting to bring the team home. They've got to be inside 1:39. It's desperately close, but they're not going to make it. I don't think so. Oh, they've missed out. And 1:40.67, and it puts them into second place, and it is the 8 penalties. They miss out on the goal by 1.03, and so 1 less touch and they would have retained their title. As it is, it's silver and not gold. So the Czech Republic, they do get a double success. France the second, Austria get the bronze, and Slovenia miss out. It's that last touch which has cost them the title that they won in Po. So the Czech trio there, they're delighted, particularly Kateřina Kudyjová, so that's a double gold for them. It's confirmation of the result, and as you can see, not a clean run, and that is paramount. A clean run down here and you definitely would profit. And Spain and Switzerland, well, look at that, 36 and 64 penalties respectively, really lost their way. So about to follow will be the men's Canadian singles. Slovenia, the defending champions from Po last year, ahead of France, Russia, who are not represented this time, and Slovakia were 4th and also not represented, and Germany, who were 5th, and they're not here. But we had 10 teams last year. We've still got 7, so it's still a competitive final. And Prague, 2 years ago, the men's Canadian singles team, it was yet again France who were the winners 2 years ago here, ahead of the Slovakians, and the Czechs were only 3rd. I think you've also got to take into account the fact that these women have been working really hard since Friday. Heats on Friday, and for some of them that meant 2 runs. Then those who made the semi-finals, and then 10 of them made the final today. So some of them have really had to work hard. They've had as many as 4 runs down this course, and it's energy sapping. And remember, the women here have only had about an hour to recover, some of them, from the final individual kayak competition. So the men's Canadian singles about to get underway with their team efforts, and we've got Spain, Ireland, Poland, Czech Republic, Italy, France and Slovenia. Well, France, the men really need to make amends. It's a terrific team. Denis Gargaud-Chanou and then Cédric Joly, so Olympic and world champions, and Martin Thomas, who was runner-up individually last year. Just a reminder of the course: 2 seconds for a touch on any gate by body, boat or blade, and 50 seconds if you don't get your head, part of your body and part of the boat in between the 2 poles. And this course set by Yuri Prishkovic, the father of yesterday's European champion of the same name, Yuri Prishkovic, and Anne Boixel, the other course designer here. So a few more have come back after a lunch break to see the men's competition. Now, the men's individual competition, I have to say, was disappointing, except for Benjamin Savsek. Great run, really smooth, controlled it beautifully, used his head, had everything correct in his mind. And here, just a reminder of this flat water start for the 3 boats. And it is the rhythm of these upstream gates that's so crucial. In goes the first boat, second boat goes behind, first boat comes out, third boat goes behind to let the second boat be released, and the same all the way down. You're probably pretty familiar with this. So first to take the challenge will be Spain, and last to go, the defending champions Slovenia. They are ranked in the positions that they finished in last year, with a few absentees, of course, from that. And look at this, really lovely fresh water. 23, a little warmer than yesterday, a tailwind. So that'll propel them a little bit faster down this course. And you can see it's more evident now as we move into the middle of the afternoon. Great thing around the world, you must have noticed it all watching at home. Some people don't quite understand that the mask is supposed to go over the nose as well. But as I said, these 400-500 people, they're all related to the paddlers, their family and friends who've been invited down here. So Daniel Perez, Luis Fernandez and Miguel Trave, who was really unfortunate in the semi-finals, got a 50-second penalty, but for that he'd have been right in that final. So let's see what the Spanish can do. It's not been a great weekend for them, so let's hope that they can finish with something of a flourish. got to make the time, but you need to be sure that you're not over-aggressive. And when you go first, your inclination is to really have a charge, and particularly when it's a flat water start, you're conscious of the fact that you need to save precious seconds, earn speed through 10, 11, 12 has been a problematic gate. And, he's got to go back to take this upstream. He missed it, and the problem here is that he's going to be way behind and have to make up a lot of time. You can see the gate differential, and 16 has been a touch, 2 touches on gate 12. 14 for Fernandez, and 15 across to 16. And there's a whole bunch of penalties coming up from the judges. They're a little slow coming to the fore here, but I can tell you now, 4, 6, 8, 10, 16 penalties. Well, the Spanish men have not even fared as well as the Spanish women. Remember, the Spanish women just a few moments ago notched up, what was it, 36 penalties. So it's just not been another good day at the office for the Spanish paddlers. A lot of these athletes are certainly competition rusty. It's not been easy for a lot of them to train and to also achieve the fitness that you need to be truly competitive at this sport, which is so demanding. And Spanish having missed a gate, one of them at, well, they missed 2, 3 gates, and well, it's a huge score, 168 penalties. Some of those missed gates aren't even up on your display there. Now, the Irish, can they do what the Swiss did yesterday? Focus on getting a clean run, and then just see if that could get them near the medals. Liam Jegou, Robert Hendrick, Jake Cochran. Liam disappointing earlier in the afternoon in the men's individual competition. After 2-second touches come up on gate number 6 and another one on 10. They were almost a dozen seconds up on the Spanish. Well, that wouldn't be difficult, but the Irish, it's not. These penalties haven't come up on your screen, but I can tell you they are now. Has to do a second spin to make that upstream gate at 10. Not much damage done, though. Can they just avoid any other touches? That's paramount now. Difficult that gate 22 was swinging in the wind there. 22 got a touch. So Ireland predictably into first place, but those last 2 touches really expensive. 183.37 in the green, but not for much longer. It's Poland to go next, to be followed by the Czech Republic, Italy, France and Slovenia. And this course has been a track that's been very difficult. The number of clean runs, you can almost count on a couple of hands over this weekend. So in the background there, Gregor Hedwig and Kasper Stuber and Simon Zawadzki. It'll pay just to take a little bit more time. They've just about managed that okay. This is where the real difficulty, and there's a touch. Couldn't tell which gate it was actually, but I'm pretty sure there was a penalty there in amongst 6 and 7. You can see the pole swinging in the background. Might be gate 6. So at this moment, slower than the Irish, and by my reckoning, there's at least 1 2-second penalty to add. And the leader negotiating at least half of the gates now. And there's been a touch on gate 12 as well. So, yeah, in fact, 4 seconds of penalties on 6, another touch on 7, another touch on 8, and 2 on 12. And the penalty score for the Polish is now up to, well, I had about 10 seconds worth of penalties. Oh, they're reinstating them now. There are something like 15 seconds down on the Irish, so not out of this in terms of trying to take the lead momentarily, but still 4 nations to come who should be superior to this trio. There's the Irish time, 1:35.83, and you can see the deficit. What was it, 15 seconds? And the deficit there for Poland, 14.75, 12 penalties. Well, that tells the story. This weave of downstream gates, 6, 7, have caused a lot of problems. 12 again, another gate. But I want to emphasize that, as you can see, the problems are not only in one area. They are spread right across the course. We've had gate touches on gate 1 through 6 and 7. And then 12, 17 and 18 have caused problems. And also from 22, 21, 22, that's been tricky. So the Czechs with their tails up, Lukáš Rowan and Václav Chalupka, 2 medalists, joined by Wojciech Heger, a man who's already qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, and he wears bib number B, 4B, on the left of your screen. So what can the Czechs do on this, their home course? The rhythm and pace is good. You would expect that from the Czech team. This is probably the best start we've seen. 1.96. So a clean top section that holds them in good stead at the moment. You can see how hard you have to work here, switching the blade across the canoe. Touch on 13, and that's their first penalty. Still up on the clock, and Ireland, Poland, Spain, the 1, 2, 3, but surely the Czech Republic are heading for the advantage. That's gate 20. Boat 2. This is where they're tightening up, so the third boat won't have such a charge. Touches on 9, touches on 13, but they're still 4 to 5 seconds ahead by my reckoning. Good shot of the negotiation of gate number 23, and the new leaders, surely, the Czech Republic. And the third man coming across the line now to stop the clock. 1:28.44. And so the Czech Republic by 7.39 seconds ahead of Ireland, Poland to third, Spain down to fourth, and 4 seconds of penalties for the Czech Republic. So it could have been an advantage of 11 seconds over Ireland. You might remember what I was saying about the Irish. If they could have gone clean, well, they would be now in the lead, which would be interesting with only 3 nations to go. So Italy, Raffaello Ivaldi, Paolo Ciccon and Paolo Micozzi. Really, they haven't had any luck, the Italians, and they deserve a change of fortune. I'd like to see that for them before they go home. Raffaello Ivaldi, runner-up in the Under-23 2018 World Championships. He's a really good paddler. Micozzi in picture at the moment. Second boat drops back, third boat. Well, it's different, but it's worked. A clean run. Could very well see them on the podium here. Early days. Hopefully that's not the commentator's curse, but 300ths. Just movement on gate 10 pole. Was that the wind or was that a touch? It was a touch. And I'm not sure who missed gate 14, but one of the 3 has, and it's a 50-second penalty. So suddenly the Italians are the Italians are looking out of this at the moment. 43 seconds off the leaders, the Czech Republic. And 1:47 their running time with that 50-second penalty. You can see how damaging it is. They'd be at sort of 1:05 at the moment and really threatening the Irish in second place. I wonder whether a minor miracle is going to happen. There's still 2 good nations to come. And 1:67, the penalty is done for them in terms of getting onto the podium. And the Italians 1:78.65. If you take away the penalty, they would have been 0.21 behind the Czech Republic. So they'll look at the penalty and double check that it was really a miss on gate 14. we might be able to see it here. No. Now, who missed gate 14? It's difficult. The sun making a silhouette, so couldn't really see whether it was second or third boat there, but that was the problem. So in gold at the moment, the Czech Republic, Ireland and Poland are second and third. We have 2 countries to come, so the Czech Republic know already they've got a medal, but the French. So the Olympic champion, Denis Gargot-Chanou, the world champion, Cédric Joly, Martin Thomas, runner-up in last year's Europeans. It's a formidable trio. Surely they can do something special here. They do not have to break their necks to get on the podium. What they need to do is to stay clean. Well, the start's okay, but picture's just a little tight, so can't see all 3 boats, so it's difficult to tell if anybody does get a touch. But at the moment, just looking at the poles as they come down to 15 and 16 and missed gates, and the French are out of it. 2 missed gates, 7 and 8, and those have come up late. Couldn't see those from the pictures, unfortunately, and that's ruled the French out. So what has been a really disappointing Sunday. Only Camille Prigent has flown the French flag. The men have been a true disappointment, both in the individual competition and now in the men's teams. And you can see 2:05 with 1 country to come, the defending champion Slovenia, and the Irish have got a medal. Absolutely amazing. They've got 8 penalties, and had they not got those 8 penalties, they'd be in the gold medal position, believe it or not. But they're second at the moment to the Czech Republic, and France, well, what a real disappointment. They have underperformed. Now, these results are unofficial, so because I haven't seen those gates and those 50-second penalties, they're the Czech boys. Well, let's see. You can see there's 7. And, oh, yeah, that was 2. The gymnastics didn't work there either. So certainly there was 150 that I think is absolutely applicable. So here we go, Slovenia. Benjamin Savsek, he's won the gold medal, he's retained his title, and here he is with his mates, Luka Božič and Jure Lenarčič. Can they make it, or at least Benjamin, can it be double gold for them? There's only one way the Slovenians paddle, and that's hard. You can see here real determination, and this sort of aggressive start should put them up on the clock, but so easy to collect penalties on this course, as we've seen. Not a clean run. And remember, only Savsek in the individual competition managed to negotiate these gates without a touch. 9. 11, 12. Well, there's been a touch on 12. I don't think it was the last man, but they were 3.5 seconds up on the upper section of the course. I'd expect them to still be ahead despite that 1 error. Just watching 17, 18, second man through. Couldn't see the third man, but So far they look okay. Half a dozen seconds to the good. They've done all the hard work on the upper part on the gate pattern. 23 now, and the champions of Po 2019 in the European Championships look as if they're going to retain their team title as well, as Slovenia coming here, and a 50 coming up at gate 16, and that's taken them out of the medals. Well, it's only just come up. It will be examined, but the Czech Republic, Ireland and Poland are in the medal positions now, and not a clean run, and it's all those 50s. 50 for Slovenia, 50 for Italy, has kept them out of the medals. France, 2 missed gates as well, and Spain, a hatful of penalties. Gate 16, so who didn't get it? Well, I'm trying to fathom that out at the moment. Well, this is unofficial at the moment. You can see that, but for the 50-second penalty, Slovenia would be once again the champions. So we just have to wait and see while the chief judge checks, and he will check very carefully here to see. At the moment, no change to the order. It'll take a couple of minutes to double check everything. Well, I've got to say the Czechs, in a way, are quite fortunate to be in first place. But Ireland, what a surprise for them. And it's great, actually, in a way. Not the finest competition for all of us to witness, to be honest. But on the other hand, for the Irish to take a team medal back home, that's great encouragement for them. And this may not be an Olympic category, but earning a medal, even in the team competitions, that can mean so much to the financial support that a particular federation will get for its sport, and that's worth bearing in mind. And the 50 from Slovenia has been taken away, and the medal order has changed. I thought it was dodgy. I couldn't see the penalty on that gate, and Slovenia have been promoted to gold medal position with 1 touch ahead of the Czech Republic and Ireland. Ireland get the bronze instead of the silver, but nonetheless they'll be delighted that they had 8 penalties. The Czech Republic had 4, and Slovenia had 2. So there it is, confirmation. Slovenia have retained their title, and the Czech Republic, they take the silver. What about Ireland? A little bit like Switzerland yesterday. Okay, fortune favoured them, but they only had 8 penalties, and in the context of this team event, that's really good news. So well done to the Irish, to Liam Jagou, to Robert Hendrick, to Jake Cochrane. Well done, and a nice boost for them. So just the medal ceremonies to come now for these 2 team competitions. They'll be upon us momentarily. So just an opportunity to have a look at just how difficult this course has been. So as the spectators make their way to the presentation podium, just an opportunity for me to say a personal thanks to Jan Selner, the director on behalf of Czech Television and his team, for some really excellent pictures. To the boys who make those music montages, the EVS boys as we know them, a big thank you to them, and to the whole of the Czech team for what they've done over the past 3 days. It's been a real challenge, but under lovely skies, a beautiful Sunday afternoon, we come to the final phase of these 2020 Europeans.
V rámci kategorie C1 muži, kde už nám teď přibíhá jeden z týmů doslova, aby jsme na poslední chvíli ještě v hydru připraveni na to, aby se mohli rychle převléci a vyrazit na stupně vítězů už v týmových barvách, tak jak se sluší a patří pro slavnostní ceremoniál mistrovství Evropy, ve kterém musíme také dnešní evropský šampionát, tedy jeho poslední den, zakončit a předat štafetu směrem do Itálie, kde se pojede v příštím roce mistrovství Evropy roku 2021. Věřme, že už v roce 2021 bude všechno v pohodě a všechno v klidu. Teď jdeme na první vyhlášení těch nejlepších. Všichni medailisté obdrží skleněné trofeje od Crystal Bohemia, vítězové navíc nože Victorinox. All medalists will be awarded glass trophies by Crystal Bohemia, and the winner will also receive Victorinox knives.
So the women's kayak team medals, Czech Republic, France and Austria. Pleased to see the Austrians get a medal. It may only be a bronze, but a little bit of encouragement.
The medals will be presented by Miroslav Haviar, the Vice President of the European Canoe Association. Gratulovat těm nejlepším kajakářkám z závodu Hlídek, bude viceprezident Evropské kanoistické federace.
So Miroslav Haviar from Slovakia, the Vice President of the European Canoe Association, to
Nina Veracink, Antonia Oshmaut, Austria.
So the trio from Austria. Corina Kunle, Nina Veracnik and Antonia Oshmaut taking the medals off the tree, off the tray, I should say, held there by Miroslav. The runners-up.
Kamil Brižo, Lucie Baudou, Marjorie Delassou, France.
France. Well, Camille Prigent, she got a silver individually. Now she's got another silver medal in the teams. just gold has eluded the French, and today it's been about the French women rather than the French men. Disappointing efforts from them.
A vítězství si vybojovali a mistryněmi Evropy se tak stávají. And the winners and the European champions of the season 2020 are Kateřina Kudějová, Veronika Vojtová, Antonie Galušková, Česká republika.
So the Czech Republic successful.
Dámy a pánové, na počest vítězek zazní česká národní hymna. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the Czech Republic. Paulina Kienle, Nina Veraching, Antonia Oshmaus, Camille Peugeot, Lucie Baudou, Marjorie Delassou,
Kateřina Kudějová gets 2 golds, and Veronika Vojtová and Antonie Galušková, they get gold medals from the team competition.
ECA Canoe Slalom European Championship winner in the women's kayak team event.
So just one more medal ceremony to come for the men. And you just wait for the Irish to get on the podium here. They are going to be jumping for joy.
Jako poslední odcházejí mistryně Evropy z České republiky. Zlatý tabl pro Kaču v rámci letošního mistrovství Evropy, protože jak individuální závodě, tak se svými partnerčkami v závodě týmu nenašla žádnou přemožitelku a díky tomu mohla Eva Říhová živě zpívat českou hymnu právě především.
Well, you can see from the way they organize these medal ceremonies, it's a well-oiled machine here in Prague.
Ve vodním slalomu. Samozřejmě ale platí, že jsme sledovali nejednu kategorii, ale také kategorii singlířů.
And the men's canoe final, at the moment, on my computer, it's still registering as unofficial, hasn't been changed to official. So although they've promoted Slovenia, I wonder whether we're going to have a delay, or could be because they're just looking at that 50-second penalty, which was given, then retracted.
Neoficiálních výsledcích. A teď vidím, že tam přiskočila 51sekundová penalizace, a to na konto českého týmu, který posouvá tedy Českou republiku mimo stupně vítězů. Tím, že tam ještě probíhají nějaké debaty, počkáme si, jak
so all of these penalties are being checked. These people, even the Italians and the Czech Republic, those 50-second penalties are being just looked at the moment by the chief judge. It shouldn't take much more than 5 minutes to make a final decision on this, but that's why we've got a bit of delay. So Slovenia, Ireland and Poland. So Ireland have been promoted and the Czech Republic have been demoted. And Slovenia, Ireland and Poland are the medalists, and Ireland, who had bronze, are now... Well, they had silver at one point, then they were pushed down to bronze in terms of the race.
závodníků skutečně na hraně, ale stát se to samozřejmě může. Budeme to brát jako fakt toho, že...
Well, this does happen from time to time, but it's the only hiccup we've really had in terms of judging, but that's the reason why we've got this delay. So while we have got a moment or two before this final medal ceremony, let me just take you ahead to next year. The European Canoe Slalom Championships are going to be in Ivrea in Italy. And we look forward to that. Hopefully, by the time we get to spring next year, we will have more control of this COVID virus. To be honest, will it have been mastered? I'm not sure. Will a vaccine have been found? Who knows? But hopefully the world will be a happier and easier place for everybody once we have found a solution to this really wicked virus, which has made our lives very different to what we've experienced before. Also looking ahead, I want to let you know that the European Championships in 2022 will be part of the big European Championship program for the whole of the sporting calendar presented by the European Broadcasting Union. So it's a sort of pan-European, European multi-sport championship in which canoeing will take place. It'll be the sprint competition, which the Europeans will include in 2022. And then in 2023, as part of the European Games, we look forward to both the sprint and the slalom competitions, the European editions being within those games. So two major competitions to look forward to. And then, of course, 2024, the European Championships just before the Olympics. So now everything seems to have been settled, hopefully. And yeah, it is all official. Slovenia, Ireland and Poland and the Czech Republic have been given a 50-second penalty, so they're down in fourth place.
The medals will be presented by Branko Lovric, the Secretary General of the European Canoe Association.
My good colleague Branko Lovric, General Secretary of the European Federation, on the left of your picture there. Absolutely delighted at what the Czechs have managed to do to present the bronze medal to the Polish trio of Gregor Hedvig, Kasper Stuber and Simon Szawacki. I bet they're unexpected medals for them. They wouldn't have expected this. They clocked up 12 penalties. They were 30 seconds behind the winners. But now for Ireland, Liam Jegu, Robert Hendrick and Jake Cochran, a silver medal. Even better. Another country on the medal table, and this is going to make the journey home much, much sweeter. Well done to them. They went early. They didn't get the clean run, but they kept the penalties down to 8. But with just one touch, the defending champion, Slovenia, Benjamin Savsek, who earlier won the individual title, together with his teammates Luka Božič and Jure Lenačić, and they take the gold for Slovenia. And to recognize their achievement, the national anthem of Slovenia for the second time today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Slovenia.
is show recognition for the winners of 2020 ECA Canoe Slalom European Championships in Prague and the Czech Republic. Dámy a pánové, ty nejlepší týmy pěkně pohromadě na stupních vítězů. Sice tady máme jednoho stříbrného, jednoho bronzového, jednoho zlatého, ale troufám si tvrdit, že to irské stříbro chutná jako zlato. The best in the category C1 man in the team category are deciding how to...
Woman of the day for me, Katarina Kudiova of the Czech Republic, 2 gold medals individually and in the team event. But man of the day, and for me, man of the championships, Benjamin Savsek, with that individual run in the men's individual canoe slalom. He has mastered the track better than anybody else. Nothing to take away from Kudiova or Satkova from yesterday, or indeed Yuri Prishkovich, but a really super run by Benjamin Savsek, and for me, man, or should I say athlete of the championships. And Slovenia finish off here with 2 gold medals on sunny Sunday. So I hope you've enjoyed these European Championships, and at the end of it all, here's the final result, just to give you confirmation after all the corrections of the Canadian singles, with that 50 added to the Czech score. And overall, the championships have seen, as you can see there, 7 countries taking medals. The Czech Republic, not surprisingly, dominant on their home water. And then Slovenia, pretty solid. France, not bad at all. Ireland, that important silver today for them. Poland, a couple of bronzes. And consolation prizes there for Austria and Switzerland. So many countries didn't get onto the medal rostrum, but 20 came here to partake. And we thank all of those federations and all those paddlers for making the journey to Prague. And we now wish all of them a safe journey home, and our best wishes for the winter ahead and also next season. There are a couple of World Cup competitions in the offering, but of course they are dependent on the COVID-19 conditions. They were planning a World Cup slalom in Tatsan in Slovenia and Po in France. And take a look on the ECA website and the ICF websites to see if those are confirmed to go ahead. And next weekend there's a sprint competition in Szeged in Hungary. And also look out for that. These are the last weeks of potential competition in Europe for canoeing, both sprint and also for slalom. The European Canoe Association, their Junior and Under 23 Championships is still at the moment on track. For myself, David Goldstrom, thanks for your company. And we look forward to meeting you again next spring for the Europeans in Ivrea in Italy.